Hi everyone, it is me E and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different. I am not really a history buff, but recently I visited Dallas and Dealey Plaza, which is where John F. Kennedy was assassinated. And the assassination is fascinating, but I was really more intrigued by Jackie Kennedy and her life. So I'm not like researching her and reading books about her per se, but I have looked into her and I wanted to share some interesting things about her and why after that trip to Dealey Plaza I felt very sad and choked up about Jackie Kennedy and her life. So starting in 1929, that's when she was born. She was born 12 years after JFK, so she's like 12 years younger than him. But growing up, she liked riding horses, ballet, reading, and learning languages. Her dad really praised her and gave her affirmation, but he was also an alcoholic and a womanizer, and her parents divorced, which obviously made her depressed, but her new stepfather gave her a more stable and lavish life as a kid, which I think probably set her up for success in the future. In college, she got involved with the drama club and the newspaper, and she did a lot of studying abroad. After college, she worked in journalism. In 1952 is when she met JFK, and after they dated and he proposed to her, she actually took a month to accept the proposal, as she was going to be traveling to Europe to cover some event. It was a big event, and I can't remember what it is now, but she was covering some big event with British royalty, and so she went away to Europe for a month, and then when she returned from her trip to Europe, she accepted his proposal. And of course they were married, and it was a huge social event. But they suffered a lot of setbacks in their early marriage. For one thing, JFK had Addison's disease, which was accompanied by horrible back pain, and it was exacerbated by a war injury that he had. And he almost died in 1954 during a spinal surgery. Then, in my opinion, it gets really sad. In 1955, Jackie suffered a miscarriage, and then in 1956, she did deliver a baby, but it was stillborn. They named it Arabella. In 1957, though, they finally had a baby to take home, which was their daughter Caroline. Jackie's presence during JFK's Senate re-election campaign proved to be an asset to his efforts. Even though she was shy and maybe was a little bit uncomfortable with the situation. And then in 1960, JFK announced his candidacy for president, and shortly thereafter, Jackie became pregnant again. 2 weeks after JFK won the election against Nixon, Jackie gave birth to their second child, John Jr. And during her time in the White House, she later referred to it as being like Camelot. But while she was there, she was known for her style and her class. She promoted American arts and the preservation of history, and she also restored and refurbished the White House. And of course, she continued traveling abroad a lot on diplomatic trips, both with and without her husband. Sadly, she suffered another loss. Her infant son, Patrick, died in the hospital before she was able to bring him home, and after that, she entered a depression. The only bright side about all of this is that in the time following their son's death, she finally became closer with JFK, because he was totally known far and wide for his infidelity, but they finally shared a bond over this grief that they had. And then, of course, a few months after her infant son died, JFK was assassinated in Dealey Plaza in front of her, and his brain and his blood was splattered all over her little pink outfit. And she refused to remove it until after LBJ's inauguration. She took comfort in her brother-in-law, Robert Kennedy, but he was shot and killed in 1968, which caused her to re-enter a depression. She remarried Aristotle Onassis, who died after 6.5 years of marriage, and then she died of cancer in 1994. I didn't cover much of her late life because nobody cares about that, I guess, but it just seems like her time with JFK and in the years immediately following was quite sad. I'm sorry if this video was kind of a downer, but I just thought it was fascinating, and it makes me sad that Jackie Kennedy, who is known for being a style icon, suffered so much in her life. But thanks for watching and have a good one. Bye.